Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Goddess, High Priestess, Empress, Alba la Pantera. Welcome to this channeled message transmission of the blood moon total lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, 15 degrees, which is a Gemini degree. We are currently in a sun hour, which embodies revelations, clarity, bringing light to the shadow, also one's purpose. Before one can step into, first and foremost, the knowing of that purpose, all that's been in a way of retrieving that information as to what is has to be removed. The sign of Pisces has a connection to blood and fluids of the body. So all that must and is coming up to the surface to be cleared. There's a level of intensity that has turned up many notches. With this full moon total lunar eclipse at 15 degrees, which is a Gemini degree, we also have the planet of awakening in retrograde. Uranus in Gemini, placing one deeper into a space of, oh, you thought you was going to be able to sweep that under the rug, hide it, and keep moving forward? Not anymore. Not anymore. So it is best to allow it to come to the surface because it's going to regardless. Put a name to it so you can have a solution for it. Because with this total lunar eclipse, along also with the fact that Saturn is also in retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which is indicative of the final dissolution phase. This total lunar eclipse in Pisces is also amplifying the dissolution, or the final phase of dissolving all that is and connected to karmic entanglements, lessons that one has learned but due to ignorance repeating the same cycle over and over and over again. But this is also where this total lunar eclipse in Pisces is asking you, through the amplification of this dissolution phase, to connect with forgiveness. Stop blaming yourself and stop blaming others for the lack or the absence of success, or the absence of acknowledging that whatever this is that is no longer serving you, one is choosing, keyword choosing, to keep playing a role in as to why something continues to go on and on and on and on and on and on. Now, 15 degrees is the second decan of Pisces, which is the Nine of Cups, which is ruled by Jupiter or the moon itself. But that Nine of Cups speaks of bliss fulfillment, or the delusion that your current situation is one of bliss, when it's more so connected to a version of you that is still wounded, in a state of victimhood, martyrdom, things of that nature. But Saturn in Pisces in retrograde is also, once again, the final dissolution phase of just that. Victimhood, martyrdom, doing things from a wounded state, doing things because you got something to prove to someone. None of that means that you are doing and being in a state of love. Some of you may have been seeing plenty of fours. I'm seeing 4, 1444 on the screen right now. Fours have to do with your foundation, but also the essence of law and order. So in order for things to be balanced out, obviously a storm has to come in to clear it from the root to the crown, or the earth star to the soul star, so you can expand even more beyond that. Before I go any further into what's coming through this transmission and channel for the full moon in Pisces, for my beloved feminines, divine feminines, goddesses, empresses, high priestess, starseed, earth angel, whichever beloved, beautiful title you place it upon yourself. If you are one who is experiencing their menstruation during this time, you have a major role to play in this existence, my love. Because you are clearing more than just you. Whether if it was right before, within this day, right before, which would be, let's say, 12:11 Eastern Standard, and right after 12:11, within this day, within this lucid moment, within the 7th, even the 6th of September, if you're someone who started their cycle, their menstrual cycle, just know that this implies your role as a forerunner or oracle, which means you can feel when something is about to peak before it does. Especially during this phase, you are the embodiment of dissolution. 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 Or the embodiment of the readiness to end a cycle. To be the embodiment of this solution. Anywhere your presence is, ignites the end of a cycle. Does it matter if the characters involved are prepared for that ending? No. This may be a topic or information as to providing you with clarity. Why situations move the way they move when your presence appears. It goes beyond the essence and verbiage of not one to play with. It goes beyond that. And when I say beyond that, we're now speaking to someone who is remembering the embodiment of the essence before time itself. You have an old soul and you have the ancient soul. They're not the same. The old soul gets weary. The ancient soul is eternal. It was just 11:11 on the time. So now, whenever you find yourself experiencing something and you may wonder, why is this happening the way it's happening for you? Well, you carry the essence of eternity while many are looped in cycles of time. So when having your cycle during this phase, this is beyond you. It's bigger than you. And in saying this is bigger than you, that which is bigger than the you are also that which is bigger. It's just a matter of coherence between the two. Sort of similar to that 0 point space, which is the moment in between an inhale and an exhale, that sacred pause, where it's only within the matter of a moment or shift that an experience begins to evolve. And that experience is based off of where you are at within your own emotional tank itself when it comes to what you know that is influencing what you believe. Pay very close attention to your dreams. We hear this often. But for the next 6 months, do not get lazy with that notion, because you're going to be receiving a lot of answers for a minimum of things and cycles that you've been experiencing for the past decade, at minimum. Some of you are going to go even further because of the essence that you allow yourself to experience. See, let me read what came through channeled yesterday. This was at 22:17. Those who skip the lessons with their sensei will expose their own shadows of the absence of maturity and therefore wisdom that this total lunar eclipse provides. Because these type of energies will be enabling themselves to not go through intended self-purification and to surrender in this particular phase of the timeline or the experience. Meaning, this full moon in the sign of Pisces at 15 degrees, which is a Gemini degree, is placing everyone in a position to hit the karmic reset button, especially when it comes to the neural pathways of your thoughts. While Uranus, the awakener in Gemini, which is rewiring your thoughts, is in retrograde. So there's a lot happening cosmically that is also happening within you. As within, so without, as above, so below. So this total lunar eclipse in Pisces is literally giving you the key, the go-ahead to hit that reset button on whatever you felt as though, oh, this was a generational curse, for instance, that you came here to break the chains. And let that be so. But now this particular moment allows you to not have to go through the you know, the challenges and obstacles that you may find yourself going through if you don't hit that reset button, basically making it harder for yourself. And the way one hits that button is by allowing everything to come to the surface, get into that 0 point, or get into that space that is in between the inhale and exhale. Obviously, that is a space of stillness and surrender. This is no match for the ego. So much so that the ego surrenders and doesn't even attempt to distract one who is choosing to step into this process of allowing what is to come to the surface that is no longer serving you. It's literally reached its boiling point. It has reached its boiling point. Therefore, it is time for it to be released. And yes, you hearing the word time come out just quite a bit after just expressing the essence of eternity. But this language is overstood by the essence of you that already knows everything that it is experiencing here within this realm. You are all being asked to let go of illusions you've carried as if they were your truth. To allow the endings that feel too heavy for the mind, but natural to the soul. To trust that emptiness is not absence, but the sacred womb space of creation. 0 point. This is the moment where you can actually pause. Express gratitude for what is leaving. Because beautifully so, what portal are we approaching? 999. On a 9 essence lucid moment, Tuesday, ruled by Mars, is connected to the number 9. So you're receiving extra celestial alignment power to sever and clearly remove into a dissolution phase of all things that are now have reached its end for a new beginning to commence. And this new beginning is not the false new beginning that one has been used to, of feeling as though you're starting something new, but it's the same old bullshit cycle from before. Really and truly beginning a new cycle. Now, what makes this even more significant is that we have Pluto, the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth, that is out of bounds. It's not going by the rules of the solar system. So that is also assisting you in matters of, oh, you're not going to be allowed to even play this old game you used to play, and making distortion real. And staying within the cages of what you consider normal limits of expressing yourself. Now, with this Pluto being out of bounds, you're connected to the rawness and the intensity of even what chaos is. It's just raw potential. It can't be placed into a box. So once again, that essence of you that some of you may not even be within the ego's way of expressing, not ready for the change that is upon you at this moment. But that is beyond you in regards to whether you're ready. It's happening. So it's best to just accept that this new form of you that you can build from a state that is connected to your soul and not the physical and thought patterns that one has allowed themselves to make real, and therefore creating from a wounded state to be this new reality. That's no more. You're now allowing yourself to build from, okay, this is what the soul desires to do, where your desires and your physical reality are now becoming more coherent. Meaning becoming the truth of what it is that you are experiencing. Once again, not the false truth. Because truth is what you connect to when you are in alignment, in connection to celestial alignment and compassion. Just put it this way. It's the vibe of when you are living your truth, there is an essence of, I don't give a fuck about what anybody got to say or think about what I'm doing, because what I'm doing allows you to be in the essence of bliss, joy, and abundance of wealth and amazing health to enjoy it all. But without having to say that, where your energy now speaks for you before you even have to say anything. Before you even have to flip the ether or the middle finger at someone and say, fuck you, your presence does it better and precisely when you are living in your truth. You can look at it as you have the presence of whatever it is you consider your spirit guides, ancestors, angels, whatever it may be, surrounding you and literally just nunchucking anything that even allows itself to go through the cellular formation to even have a thought to fuck with what it is that you're doing and it's best for you. Anything that attempts to get in the way of you doing what's best for you and it's causing no harm to none, those are the ones getting nunchucked by your ancestors, spirit guides, angels, whatever it is that you got protecting you. Working on your behalf in the unseen realms, because that's also what Pisces is too, is the unseen realms, 12th house energy. So this is why it's even more of an intense total lunar eclipse, blood moon type of vibes, because Pisces rule in the 12th house of hidden enemies, prisons, hospitals, rehab, things of that nature, rejuvenation, also dreams, also illusions, also delusion. At a 15 degree of Gemini in connection to Mercury, which has to do with access to the higher and lower realms, this is what I'm saying. You have access to hit that reset button on every realm right now. Don't hit it if you're going to do the same thing you were doing right before this message, though. Because the more aware you become, in the essence of when you know better, you do better, the more aware you become, the more intense the polarities become.